Hi everyone, welcome to Invent Your Mind. Thank you for joining me. My name is Gayani. I'm an intellectual property and business law attorney. This information is for educational purposes only, but I wanted to put out a video for entrepreneurs and businesses that just have gotten a trademark and what they need to know to keep that trademark rights. When I say they gotten the trademark, you have been through the registration process, and the United States Patent and Trademark Office, USPTO, has issued the registration certificate, and now you are allowed to use that registered R mark with the circle around it. So one of the things that is really important that you have now gotten the mark is to keep using it regularly as you have claimed that you will be using it. For instance, let's say you file as in use, you have provided specimens and you have a logo mark where you have claimed certain colors for the mark. It is really important that if you're using this mark with the services or the goods, you have now the same logo is being used, and if you have claimed colors, that those colors are being used. Because if you now change up the mark, you are not technically using the mark you registered for. Remember that with trademarks, you do have to have renewals. There's milestones, and you had to make payments, renewal fees, and you had to submit statement of use that you have continuously used from the time you got the registration to that time when you're submitting those declarations. So for instance, the first one that will come up is between your 5th and the 6th year, where you had to submit the specimens of use and a declaration with Section 8. So, and the next one is in the 9th and 10th year, and then thereafter it will be every 10 years. I will put a link to the USPTO website that has this information. I'm recording this in January 2022. So this information is always subject to change, and it's always good to double check the information. So with that being said, I wanted to really emphasize, let's say you have the mark, you have use a certain font for your mark, and you claim the font in your stylistic, stylistic, the mark, there's the stylistic writing, and there's a certain font is claimed for your registration, then you have to keep using the same font. Same thing with the same colors. And if you change up anything with the mark, then you have to file a new application to use it that way. So that's why it's really important before you file it. I'm sure, hopefully you talk to your attorney about it and how you're using it, and they kind of told you the this process of why it's important to whether claim those colors or those styles, or that, or whatever that uniqueness of the mark, and how does that affect going forward when you're using it. A lot of times I see clients who have like new branding people who come on board to help them with the social media. But what's really important for you as a business owner is to let the branding person know what is the trademark that is was filed, how it was claimed, and the colors that they have to work with, that they cannot change the appearance of that mark as claimed. If they do, again, you had to file a new application. And it's really, it's the key is you can do this. You want to keep the eye out on these changes, because you're filing that maintenance fee in your 5th year or the 10th year. And between those times, if you're changing things up, you won't be able to make those declarations of use. And you're making those declarations under penalty of law. So you do not want to be making false claims, because you will lose the rights to your mark. So you want to actually be doing this continually throughout and as you have claimed. And if you have any questions, what you have filed, you want to check with your attorney who you work with to see what you had filed on, if there are changes that can be made, or if it's a change you cannot be made. Because sometimes we will file a mark, just a word, without claiming a font or color. And in those cases, yes, you can use the word with different background, different colors, but because there was no color or font claimed. But you need to know that was the case. So, and you want to use each element of the mark too. So if it's a design logo with a certain image, you don't want to leave out, like if there's 5 elements to that image, you don't want to leave out one of them. You want to be using all 5 in with the services or goods that you are using. And the other thing I would say is very important to showcase, just like you did when you were filing the specimens, you want to keep using it in a clear way that shows that you're housing the goodwill of your business into your trademark. So meaning it should be clearly in your labels, it should be clearly on your website or the services you're providing. And I will take a look at those guidelines. I will post below for the specimens with the USPTO, because you should have gone through that when you filed it, but just in case if you need a refresher, take a look at those, because you will need the same specimens in 5 years when you're filing the renewal maintenance fees and the declaration and the specimens of use, showing that you have continually been using it. Also, it's very important to emphasize this. It's not enough to submit 1 or 2 specimens that shows that you used it once or twice between that the time it got issued and the 5th year. It's important to show you have continual use of the mark throughout that time. So that's why it's important to have this information up front. I hope this helped you. And for more information, please check out the uspto.gov website. And I also have some other videos out here about like filing a Section 15, which I will link to end of this video. So hopefully that will help you with making sure you maintain your trademark rights. Thank you.